All right. Shalom, family. It's your brother Kanaiba coming at you once again with this video that's inspired by this particular article that I found from End Time Headlines. Okay. And as you can see, the title of the article says the earth only has a 3-month supply of food. If production stops, humanity has nothing to eat in 90 days. Okay? So the very title of this particular article is very alarming, but we are not surprised. Okay? And when I say we, I mean the brothers and sisters that's in the truth, right? Because the Bible already prophesied about this happening. Okay? I've talked about this in previous videos. I've already stated that a famine is coming. Okay? There is a famine coming. I believe I did a video about China hoarding food. And I said in that video that China already saw the writing on the wall. That's why they were hoarding food. Okay? And as we see here, what the title of this article said, that the writing really is on the wall, okay? And the writing has been on the wall because, like I said before, the Bible already prophesied about this happening, okay? So without further ado, let's get into the article and actually read the article. Then we're gonna go over a video about this very situation, okay? Let's get to it. All right, so opening up, this is the beginning of the article, and it reads, "We are far closer to a potential global cataclysm than most people would dare to imagine. Right now, leaders from all across the political spectrum are openly warning us that a worldwide food crisis is coming." Okay? Now, the first paragraph is telling you that the world leaders, okay, are warning about this food crisis that's coming, okay? They see it, okay? And like I already said, they don't get the credit, okay? Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, gets the credit because the Bible already spoke about this happening. It's Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, that's bringing this famine. Okay? But let's continue with the article, and it reads, "But when people in the Western world hear of such warnings, most of them assume that it will just be something that affects poor people in Africa or Asia." And you want to know why that is? That's the pride of America. Okay, we went over these verses before. What is the mindset of Esau and America? Remember what the scripture said in Revelation, the 18th chapter? "I sit a queen." Okay, you know, she had the mindset of none of these plagues can ever happen to me. Right? Y'all remember that? Well, that's the mindset that the average American has. Okay. They have all this hope in this great whore known as America. Well, guess what? Okay, you are in for a rude awakening. Okay, because like I said before, or like the Bible has already said, that skirt is being lifted. Okay, America is about to get judged. But this is going to be a worldwide famine, as they already said. But guess what? America is going to get hit the hardest. Okay? But let's continue. Unfortunately, that will not be the case this time around. We truly are in unprecedented territory. And we are going to see things happen in the months ahead that once would have been absolutely unthinkable. Okay? All right, let's continue. So let's scroll up a bit here. And it goes on to say this: global hunger had already been steadily rising for the past couple of years due to the sea pandemic. And now, a confluence of events here in 2022 threaten to create a true global nightmare. And yeah, that's an understatement. Okay? Because I'm telling you, when that hunger come in, boy, whew. Okay, let's continue. It says, at this moment, we are still eating food that was previously grown. But it is the food that will not be grown in the months ahead that will be the real problem. I could not have said that better myself. Okay? Because see, right now, people are still eating. And they're still eating pretty freely. Okay? Because you're still eating food that was previously grown. Okay? But they're not focusing on the food that hasn't been grown yet. That's pretty much not going to be grown. Okay? That's the issue in the upcoming months. Okay? That's where this famine is coming from. We're going to see as the article continues. Okay? But they're worried about the very, very near future. But the fact that people are still able to eat right now, they're not really concerned about the writing that's on the wall, about this upcoming famine. Okay? But let's continue. So scrolling up a bit more, and the article says this: because the truth is that we do not have much of a buffer to work with at all. David Friedberg, oh boy, is an early Google executive who started the farming insurance company Climate Corporation. And he just told the All In podcast that the earth operates on a 90-day food supply. Very interesting. Okay. So apparently the earth operates on a 90-day food supply. Let's continue. The whole planet Earth operates a 90-day food supply, which means that once we stop making food, humans run out of food in 90 days. So what does that let you know? That they're anticipating that food is not going to be made or grown. Okay, because that's what he just said. Once the food stops being made, then you only have 90 days to eat. It's only 90 days of food left. Okay, so that's why the title of the article says what it says. Okay, it's real. Okay, it's no longer Jacob's trouble is coming. Okay, it's here. Jacob's trouble is here. This is the beginning stages. Okay? So this is why myself and other brothers have been warning all of you, okay, about this day. Now it's here. It's a reality. Okay? You see it. Okay, let's continue. So let's scroll up some more. And the article continues. It is estimated that approximately 7.9 billion people currently live on the planet. And feeding everyone is a real challenge, even if everything goes perfectly. Okay, let's examine that. So when everything is normal and everything is going quote unquote perfectly, it's already a challenge to feed everybody on the planet. Okay, but what about in the time of crisis, when there's a food shortage, when there's a famine? How much harder is it going to be to feed everybody on the planet? Okay, let's continue. It says, unfortunately, global conditions have been much less than perfect for the past couple of years. And Friedberg says that the global energy crisis has pushed the cost of key fertilizer components to levels that are absolutely insane. Okay, so the fertilizer that the farmers have to use to actually grow the food, the price of those fertilizers have skyrocketed. Okay, to the point where farmers really can't afford it. Okay, so how are they going to grow the food then? Do you see the domino effect that's going on here? Yahweh, while Yahweh shot, they are amazing. Okay. And Yahweh is a man of war, okay? This is warfare that's going on here. This is strategic. Okay, let's continue. The price of nitrogen has gone from $200 to $1,000. The price in potassium has gone from $200 to $700. And the price of phosphorus has gone from $250 to $700. So now it is so expensive. Let's scroll up some more. And it says it's so expensive to grow a crop that a lot of farmers around the world are pulling acres out of production. So they're going to grow less this year than they would have otherwise, because it is so expensive and they cannot access fertilizer, he explained. Food supplies are going to go down, and it is going to be catastrophic. Sir, that is an understatement. Okay? So again, the farmers, they cannot afford the fertilizer. Okay, prices are going up. Okay, in a lot of different areas, not just with the fertilizer. Okay, like I said, this is a domino effect that's going on here. Okay, and again, a lot of this has to do with what just happened with Russia and the Ukraine, which we're going to get into a little later on when we actually watch the video that we're going to go over. Okay, but this is huge. Okay, and what a time to be alive. Okay, blessed are your eyes. Okay, you're seeing these prophecies coming to fruition that was prophesied about thousands of years ago. Okay, by our forefathers. Okay, and ultimately by Yahweh Shai. Okay, but let's continue. So scrolling up some more, and the article continues. Many farmers all over the world will try to grow food without fertilizer this year. Yeah, okay. Good luck with that. But anyway, it continues on. But that will result in a whole lot less food being grown. In one of his latest videos, Chris Martenson compared rice plants that were grown with phosphorus to rice plants that were not given any phosphorus. I was absolutely blown away by the difference. As global food production drops precipitously, there simply will not be enough food for everyone in the months ahead. Did y'all hear that? Okay, the famine is upon us. Okay, so here again, this is not the time to be playing around. I said in my last few videos, this should be a time of examination. Getting yourself right, getting yourself in order. Okay, getting yourself right with Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. It's not the time to be playing. Okay, but here again, the sad thing is you got Israelites that are playing. Okay, you got leaders of camps that's being praised at the Passover. They're being praised higher than Yahweh Shai. Okay, you got camp leaders talking about, giving counsel to Chris Rock that he should sleep with Will Smith's wife. Okay, this is them playing around. Okay, and if they don't repent, they will be judged for that. Okay, that is wicked as hell. Okay, they need to repent. That is out of order. Okay, but anyway, let's continue on with the article. And it said, made me lose my spot. Where was I at? It says, of course, the wealthy nations will buy up what is available, driving up prices in the process. And the poorer nations will be left out in the cold. In fact, this is already starting to happen. In March, the global price of food rose at the fastest monthly pace ever recorded. Okay, again, there's a reason for that. It broke the record. Okay, because this is prophecy being fulfilled. This is a time like no other in history. Okay, so let's scroll up some more. And the article reads, March's food price index from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, printed 159.3 points in March, up 19.15 points from February, when it had already reached record highs. Continuing on, and it reads, the index was up 33.6% from the same time last year. The March rise in food prices is a stunning 12.64% MOM, almost doubled the previous record monthly surge. If you are looking for red flags, you just found one. Food riots have already begun in some parts of the globe. For example, you can see a clip from the rioting in Peru right here. In the months ahead, it is only going to get worse. Okay, it's not going to just be in Peru. Okay, like they said, this is going to be worldwide. Okay, but America is going to get it. And America is going to get it the worst. Okay, that's according to prophecy. America is really the focus. This place has got to go. This is spiritual Egypt, and the plagues are upon this place. Okay, let's continue. So scrolling up some more, and the article ends by saying this. Thanks to the war in Ukraine, the price of wheat was up almost 20% last month alone. The war has helped push cereal prices up 17% over the past month, with the closure of ports throttling wheat and maize exports from Ukraine. Russian exports have also been slowed by financial and shipping problems. There's your domino effect. Okay? World wheat prices soared by 19.7% during March, while maize prices posted a 19.1% month-on-month increase, hitting a record high along those of barley and sorghum. Okay? So that's how the article actually ended. Okay? And as you can see, this is a problem. Okay? And it's a very serious one. One that should wake you up. Okay? Because like I said before, the Bible already prophesied about this happening. Just simply go back to what Yahushua said in Matthew the 24th chapter. Okay, remember the disciples asked him about what would be the signs of his second coming. Okay, and amongst all the things that he listed, famine was one of those things. Okay, this is big. All right, but anyway, now let's go to the video that I've been talking about, okay? And of course, this video is from Epic Economist, okay? And he posted this, I believe, a few days ago. But without further ado, let's actually get into this video and let's see what's going on here, okay?
A global food shortage of catastrophic proportions has already begun, and things are only going to get worse from this point on. The information we're about to expose might be hard to digest, but we would like to encourage you to share this message with everyone you care for so that people can prepare for what is coming. Everybody deserves to know what is truly going on, and they deserve an opportunity to get ready before this crisis gets out of control. The pace at which things are changing all over the world right now is extremely alarming, but somehow many people still believe life will just continue to carry on as it normally does.
And we already talked about that. That's them people over here in America that's got that mindset, okay? That I sit a queen mindset, okay? They put all their trust, their hope in America, okay? They think that this place is invincible, that nothing that bad can ever happen to old, precious America, okay? They have that mindset, okay? I sit a queen, and none of these plagues can ever come upon me, roughly paraphrasing. Again, that's Revelation, the 18th chapter, okay? But again, they are in for a rude awakening. People in general, but people in general is not the focus. The focus is the children of Israel, our people. Our people, the children of Israel, you are far too comfortable in this place to the point that you have forgotten that this is captivity and this is not your rest. Okay. So guess what? You got to get woke up out of that rest. Okay. You got to become restless. And guess what? One of the forms of that restlessness is going to come in hunger. There's a famine coming. And guess what? This is going to be a wake up call for a lot of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's too comfortable in this hellhole known as America. Okay, let's get to it.
Sadly, the truth is that a very real planetary emergency is unfolding right before our eyes, and we must act before it's too late.
You can act all you want, okay? You can do everything in your power to try to prevent this from happening, but guess what? It's not going to work. Okay, nothing is going to stop the word of God from being fulfilled. Okay, the word has went out and it's not going to return unto him void. Okay, the scriptures talk about, I believe, in both 2nd Esdras 15 and 16, if my memory serves me correctly, it talks about how once if you have the bow and arrow, and once the arrows are shot, they're not gonna come back to you. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, but again, those arrows are the plagues are likened to those arrows. Okay, ultimately it's the missiles. Okay, but the plagues in general, you know, nothing is gonna pull those plagues back. Okay, Yahweh has already spoken, and those plagues are gonna go forth. They're not gonna return. Okay. And like I said before, ultimately, it's going into those missiles. Okay. And once those missiles come, that's it. It's a wrap for this place. Okay. But right now we're dealing with this famine that's upon us. Okay. Let's continue.
In today's video, we have compiled facts that reveal the humongous proportions of the global food crisis. But before checking this list, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell so you can keep updated with our latest notifications. Here are 20 facts about the emerging global food shortage that should chill you to the core. Number 1. One of France's most important government officials is warning the public to brace themselves for widespread food shortages. In a recent statement, France's Foreign Affairs Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian said that the world must get to grips with the fact that the conflict in Ukraine is prompting an extremely serious global food crisis. Number 2. The President of the United States has openly admitted that extensive food shortages are going to be real, and his officials are concerned about the prospect of a hunger crisis.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Joe Biden the individual that originally was saying that it wasn't going to be a famine? Okay, that there wasn't going to be any food shortages. But now all of a sudden, he's changing his tune. He's singing a different tune now. That's very interesting. But anyway, let's continue.
The Biden administration is worried Russia's invasion of Ukraine will cause famine in several parts of the world. White House Council of Economic Advisors Chair Cecilia Rouse said in an interview with CNBC last week. Number 3. It is being reported that in Germany, grocery prices are about to surge up to 50%. Days after the nation hit the highest inflation levels in a generation, with the most recent consumer price index reading soaring at a 7.6% annual pace and going beyond all expectations. Locals felt a distinctly unpleasant déjà vu as Germany takes one more step toward the return of the dreaded Weimar hyperinflation. According to the German Retail Association, even before the crisis between Russia and Ukraine broke out, the country's supply chains were already under stress and prices were already climbing into the stratosphere. The association said that consumers should prepare for another wave of price hikes for everyday goods and groceries. On top of that, Reuters reported that prices at German retail chains will explode between 20 and 50% starting this month. Number 4. In Spain, food rationing has already begun.
They are already rationing food in Spain. Okay? And look at this. Not only food, they're rationing fuel as well. Okay, so if they're doing that over in Spain, do you really believe that that just cannot happen here in America? Okay, because it's coming. They're going to be rationing food because guess what? That famine is going to hit hard. Okay, but they are already rationing food in Spain, and this famine hasn't even taken full effect yet. Okay, but anyway, let's continue.
The country started witnessing empty shelves of several different products, such as eggs, milk, and other dairy products almost immediately after the Ukraine crisis began. In early March, major supermarket chains including Mercadona and Makro started rationing sunflower oil as inventory levels sharply declined. Number 5. Rationing has already started in Greece, where at least 4 national supermarket chains have begun rationing food products due to critically low supplies caused by disrupted supply chains.
So not only are they rationing food in Spain, they're rationing food in Greece as well. Do you see that? And they're saying that they're rationing food because the food supply is hit by the supply chain. Okay, like I said, there's your domino effect. Okay, this is warfare. Okay, remember, Yahweh is a man of war. Okay, Yahweh is his name. Okay, and you're seeing this warfare. Okay, you're seeing the chess pieces are being moved. Okay, but you see all these different places they're having food rationings. And you mean to tell me that's not going to happen here in America? Oh, you got to be out your mind if you believe that. But anyway, let's continue.
Number 6. The CEO of BlackRock has alerted that this generation is about to experience hardships to get food supplies that they've never faced in their lives. Last week, in an event hosted by the Texas Independent Producers and Royalty Owners Association in Austin, Texas, BlackRock President Rob Capito told the audience that an entire younger generation is quickly finding out what it means to suffer from shortages. Bloomberg reported, for the first time, this generation is going to go into a store and not to be able to get what they want, Capito said. And we have a very entitled generation that has never had to sacrifice, he added.
You can say that again, okay? I'm telling you, this generation is so entitled and spoiled, okay? This is why Israel is at rest right now, okay? They're too comfortable, okay? It's gotten to a point that, it goes back to Genesis chapter 49, especially when you're dealing with Judah, okay? That old lion done went back to sleep. You're comfortable, okay? Everything is pretty much handed to you on a silver platter. You really don't have to, quote unquote, really work and sacrifice for anything in this day and age, okay? This is the age of entitlement, okay? But guess what? These prophecies is going to change that very, very soon, okay? But anyway, let's continue.
Number 7. Some fertilizer prices have gone up by as much as 300% in America compared to the same period 1 year ago.
So y'all see that? We just read about this in the article that we just read, okay? We already read about this. We read about the fertilizer, the prices skyrocketing. We already read this, but now we see it right here again, okay? And it's up so much due to the war in Russia and the Ukraine. Again, this is your domino effect. Okay, this is your warfare. Okay, let's continue.
That extreme spike is discouraging millions of farmers to plant this year. Number 8. In Africa, many farmers will not be able to afford such expensive prices for fertilizer, and that could consequently lead to a massive decline in agricultural production. According to Sebastian Ndufa, program manager at researcher group AfricaFertilizer.org, with prices tripling over the past 18 months, many farmers are considering whether to forego purchases of fertilizer this year. That leaves a market long touted for its growth potential set to shrink by almost a third, he said. That could potentially curb cereal outputs by 30 million tons. And that is enough to feed 100 million people, Nduva stressed. Number 9. Russia is one of the biggest global exporters of the 3 major groups of fertilizers, which include nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. The nation is also a key global player in the natural gas market, a major input to fertilizer production. Higher prices for gas and supply cuts will further inflate fertilizer prices in the coming months. Number 10. During normal times, Russia and Ukraine collectively account for roughly 30% of all global wheat exports. Number 11. More than 50% of Africa's wheat imports typically come from either Russia or Ukraine. Number 12. However, several other nations rely on wheat exports from Russia and Ukraine even more than African countries do. Amongst them are Armenia, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, and Eritrea, which usually import all of their wheat that their population consumes from Russia and Ukraine. Now they must find alternative sources. But they're competing against much larger buyers such as Turkey, Egypt, Bangladesh, and Iran, which have purchased more than 60% of the remaining wheat supplies from the two conflicting countries.
So again, what we're seeing here, of course, is that domino effect, okay? That war amongst the Ukraine and Russia is having a large impact on the food supply. Okay? So let's continue.
Number 13. One Russian official said that his nation may soon only export food supplies to its geopolitical allies. In a recent statement, Dmitry Medvedev, a senior Russian security official who previously served as the nation's president, has threatened that Russia will limit its critical food exports to nations it considers friendly. He warned that the country will soon cut off the West from food exports.
Now, did I or did I not tell you that America is really the focus? Okay? We know that this is going to be a worldwide famine. Okay? But what we just heard is Russia is going to cut off the West from food exports. Okay? And America is really the focus. Okay? Like I said before, this famine is going to hit America the hardest, believe it or not. Okay, let's continue.
Number 14, to make things worse, in the United States, a bird flu pandemic is killing millions of turkeys and chickens at a breathtaking pace.
And there's your pestilence. Okay, remember in Matthew chapter 24, okay, when Yahushua was listing the signs of his second coming, of course, amongst that, he also said pestilences. Okay. Now, here's the kicker. Okay. He said pestilences and he mentioned famines too. Well, this particular pestilence is going to be a domino effect that leads to or contributes to the famine, because this pestilence is affecting the chickens and the turkeys. I'm telling you, man, the Most High is cold with it. Okay? But anyway, let's continue.
Last Friday, local news reported that another 5 million egg-laying chickens in Iowa had to be put down after infection cases were confirmed. Number 15. In the state of Iowa alone, this latest incident has pushed the total death toll from the bird flu to over 13 million. Number 16. Overall, the national death toll from the bird flu currently stands at 22 million egg-laying chickens, 1.8 million broiler chickens, 1.9 million pullet and other commercial chickens, and 1.9 million turkeys. Number 17. China's Minister of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, Tang Renjian, has announced that this year's agricultural production is likely to collapse to perilously low levels. Tang said that rare, heavy rainfall last year delayed the planting of about 1/3 of the normal wheat acreage, and revealed that a survey of the winter wheat crop taken before the start of winter found that the amount of first and second grade crop was down by more than 20 percentage points. Number 18. Meanwhile, in the U.S., new estimates show that extreme drought conditions are expected to persist across 60% of the continental U.S. as spring in the northern hemisphere begins. And
there's more of the domino effect. Okay, so experts are expecting a mega drought to come in spring of 2022. Okay, which means what? No rain. And if there's no rain, what does that say about the farming, the crops? The food can't grow without rain. Okay, which is going to further contribute to the famine. Okay, all of this is orchestrated by Yahweh, Yahushai. Okay, I keep telling y'all he's a man of war, and this is indeed warfare. Okay, and this is just the beginning. It's only going to get worse. Okay, let's continue.
American farmers are warning that this year's winter wheat harvest will be disastrous. More than half of Kansas, the top U.S. wheat-producing state, Kansas is classified under severe drought or worse, the driest conditions since 2018, according to the National Drought Mitigation Center. Abnormally dry conditions are also hitting 3/4 of Oklahoma and more than 2/3 of Texas, both of which are also large wheat producers. Number 19. One Oklahoma farmer has alerted that Americans are about to be shocked by soaring grocery prices. All of his farmer operations are costing a lot more, and that will have a direct impact on consumers.
Now, of course, this is to be expected. But yeah, that grocery bill is about to skyrocket. Okay, this is just more of the domino effect, okay? You have a lack of food, so of course the price of whatever food you have is going to go up. Okay, it's dealing with scarcity. All right, but again, this is just part of their warfare that Yahweh has brought upon this place. Okay, let's continue.
Getting hit on every front, on every expense possible, from fertilizer to fuel to labor insurance to our packing supplies and everything in between. We operate a small farm in Oklahoma. 100% of our sales are farm-to-home delivery. We drive all across the state, and fuel costs are really painful for us. I would say our increases are roughly 25 to 30%, and I think that will soon be reflected at the grocery stores. Farmer Ben Reincher recently said in an interview, "If you're upset that gas is up $1 or $2 a gallon, wait until your grocery bill is up $1,000 a month." And it might not just manifest itself in terms of price. It could be quantity as well. Empty shelf syndrome may be starting, Reincher highlighted. And number 20, the head of the United Nations World Food Program said that what the planet is now experiencing is unlike anything that we have witnessed since the 1940s.
And we already know what the Bible has said about Jacob's trouble, okay? That it would be a time like no other in history, roughly paraphrasing, okay? And that's what we're seeing right now, okay? And things are only going to get much, much worse. Okay, let's continue.
Ukraine has only compounded a catastrophe on top of a catastrophe. David M. Beasley, the executive director of the UN agency that feeds 125 million people a day, has emphasized there has been no precedent even close to this since 1945. Over the past few years, numerous experts and economists have come forward to warn that this was going to happen if precautions were not taken. Our leaders largely ignored those forecasts, and now this is where we are. Conditions are accelerating much faster than we can keep track. That's why it's so important to share this message with as many people as possible, because this crisis is going to affect everyone. We're going to witness the worst food shortages in our lifetime. We must act now, given that things are getting worse with each passing day. An absolutely horrifying global food crisis is already upon us, and hundreds of millions of people are going to suffer as a result. So make sure you are not one of them. Stockpile food while you still can.
You can stockpile food all you want. That ain't gonna help nothing. Okay? You can stockpile the food. All you doing is just stockpiling it for somebody else. Okay? Be it, anybody that's out there rioting, that's hungry, that may come in and just take your food. Okay? Watch movies like the Book of Eli, okay, or any other Purge movies, okay, or it could come in the form of like the National Guard or FEMA. They may come door to door looking for food, okay, to supply for themselves so they can ration it out to other people who may take what's known as the MOTB. Okay. All of this is coming and everything is falling into place. Okay. But you can stockpile food all you want. You just stockpiling it for other people. Okay. And you know what? You just might be stockpiling it for the elect. Okay. Because the scriptures tell you that, while the world is suffering, his servants are going to eat, roughly paraphrasing. Okay. So the food is going to come from somewhere. But anyway, let's continue.
Because supplies will start flying off the shelves at record speed in the coming weeks and months. Thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it on that. Okay, that's the end of the video. So that's going to be the end of my video. Again, this video is about, the upcoming famine. And, this video was inspired by the article that I came across on End Time Headlines, okay? They're saying that, that famine is pretty much going to be in full effect in 3 months, okay? Now, how true that is, we don't know. Only time will tell, but the famine is coming, okay? That is the point. The famine is coming. It's pretty much here. Okay, but it's only going to worsen. Okay, and there's different variables that's gonna cause it to worsen. Okay, there's those chess pieces. Okay, this is warfare, like I've been saying. Yahweh is a man of war. Okay, but anyway, and as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachah Kodash. I want to thank all you brothers and sisters for tuning in. I hope this video was informative and edifying. And until next time, Shalom, family.